how you guys are doing today. This is your girl Anik, and it is Chit Chat TV, where we have those hard conversations, guys. We are very happy to have a special guest with us today. We have a part 2. All right, the last time, if you guys go back on Mother's Day, we shared some special, gratitudes for mothers. And this time, Marvet is here for part 2 of her story. So she has been through a lot, and she wants to continue to share it on our platform. So, welcome again, Auntie. Welcome to Chit Chat TV.
Thank you very much, Annie.
And I'm very happy that you decided to keep sharing your story with us. I know at one point you were very shy, not wanting to really speak out. But I must say I'm very proud of how far you came. So today we're going to talk about an experience that's very delicate to both of us. And we just want to reach out to all the mothers out there. And I know even for fathers as well, this story will affect you if you've been through it. We know that this story has affected a lot of people already. But so you went through a lot losing your daughter because she went to prison. Okay? And anybody that knows her story would know that she have a daughter that, pretty much you raise your children to be great and good, and they make a mistake, and because of those mistakes, they end up behind bars, okay? So I want you to share to the people a little bit about where you are now, accepting the fact that your daughter is actually behind bars.
Well, very comfortably, because anybody know my daughter better than I do know her. I know that she is not a bad person, and I don't know how she gets to the point that she gets to. So at the point now, I have to realize that she's where she is, and I have to be a mother to support her as the best I can for where she is.
All right. So acceptance is one of the biggest things for you in this, that you had to accept it. So before you accept it, we're going to backtrack to the beginning of where you realize something was off with your daughter, or to the beginning where you realize as a mother, my daughter even isn't really, moving the same, or her actions are a little bit off. What could it be that my daughter is involved in that could cause the situation, So what was going on where you could say there was changes with your child?
My daughters we're very close to each other. So she's withdrawing. I don't see her, and when you call her, you were never able to get her. She was always at the house trying to do things for me nicely, and all of a sudden all those things are not there, and you cannot get her when you call her. She never returns your calls. So when you're a mother, you know that something is going on. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was at the time.
So there was a big change.
Yes, it was.
In her actions. And that's one of the things, guys, I want to implore mothers out there, even in this very moment, is if you see your children acting different, if you see at any point the behavior of your child is a little off, don't relent, to really go further. See, now, your daughter was so amazing that we would have never thought she would have been involved in anything.
Right.
So it took a little bit longer for you
to accept it.
To accept it. Share a little bit about that.
Well, it hurts a lot because I have never wanted to ever believe that she would involve in drugs or anything. So even my mind never comes to that point at all. But when I see the way she's acting, she's always loving and caring and all the other stuff. So I keep on reaching out to her and keep on giving her stuff and keep on doing extra stuff for her, because I know that I've never been the person that I ever have to ask me for anything. And all of a sudden she start asking for stuff. And so that's when I know there's a problem, because I've never been a person, she works 2-3 jobs, go to school. So I know there was a real problem there.
Sometimes as mothers, I'm not a mother like I said before, but I've seen so much mothers. Sometimes as mothers, it's so hard to know that you raise your child to be one thing, and then these changes happen, and having to accept those changes is super hard. No, Auntie, I watched you for years, and I've also watched her daughter for years, and she's actually one of the most amazing people I've met in my life. Very kind, very loving, and like she said, was involved in school, always was helping, doing things for her mother. So at a point, it's like, okay, I'm not going to think my daughter is off doing any kind of, substance abuse. I don't think my daughter is involved in any type of relationships that could lead her down the wrong road. So you're giving to them thinking that they are in need, not knowing that your own child in this moment is vulnerable. Your own child in this moment might be using you. So when you started realizing that this thing was going left, how did you start reacting? What did you start doing?
Well, as a mother, you still don't want to believe what you even seen. Because when she was asking for something, she asked very kindly. She wouldn't let you think that it was something different than asking. But for me, that knows her very well, I know if she does ask you for anything, it's got to be a reason. Because and then I remember one time when she was living over my son's house, and my son nobody wants to believe that she was going through that. So nobody wants to put her out or nothing. So I go over there and I try to take out the furniture out of the house because she wasn't there, and my son couldn't get the house rent because she had never been to the house, and I tried to find her. Then I tried to help her to pay the rent. She spent the money and all that kind of stuff.
So there's a lot going on, and you were still in the midst of all that, still trying to help her daughter as a mother.
Because that's what a mother do. And until you come to that realization that when you realize that it is a real true deal in the matter, then that's when you have to pull up your hands. Because when I heard that she went to the I didn't know, because I was at church the day when she tried to jump off the building at the church.
I think it was a Horizon building, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but nobody tells me.
Yeah.
They keep it from me. I didn't know till a whole 3 weeks later before I know that she was trying to jump off the building.
So they kept that secret from her to keep her pressure down. Just think about it. So let me ask you, what was that final straw for you that you said, yes, my daughter is on something and it's not right? Because you said you went over there, you got the furnitures, you were still trying to help her pay the rent, in hopes that she isn't, going through this. This is not what's happening, okay? So what was the last straw that said, oh, I got to back up from this?
Well, it didn't get to that point yet, because when I heard that, the same day when I got her out of the jail, the same day which is her birthday, I tried to get her some stuff for her birthday, get her nails done. And it was the same day when I heard that she stopped somebody. The same day when it was her birthday, should she get locked up the day of her birthday? Then I know there's a real problem there, because she was so glad when I get her out that first time, and then the same day she comes out, the next day she get locked up.
Guys, so it brings us to the full circle topic, why her daughter is in prison. Because of this substance use and everything, she kind of did a crime that, in other times she would have never done. And a lot of people, when they're under any kind of substance abuse or control, that they don't naturally do things the way they used to. They change up. Sometimes they don't speak the same way. Sometimes they don't go to work anymore. Sometimes they might not maintain their hygiene the same way. And you see sometimes physical changes with people. But let me ask you, Auntie, when she got locked up, what did you feel as a mother? When you realize this is actually true, this is happening to me.
Well, you feel violated, because you just wonder what bring her to that point. And as I said, me and her was so very close, and she wasn't living with me, so I wouldn't see that quick changes because I was always working, and I didn't see her that much. See her that much before, but I didn't see when she was going through that time, and I was wondering, why couldn't she come and let me help her? But I guess she was in that point where she was so depressed, and with the drugs and everything, she never had straight eyes to see.
That's a question a lot of people struggle with, and I've heard many people speak when they tell me about their experience, and they say sometimes they don't go to the people that is closest to them because they are afraid of how much they will hurt you. And you said that you're close to her. So if you're so close to her, she may have never felt close enough to come to you because it would hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but wouldn't it be easier for her to come to me than be out there? Because I try everything to you know, I mean, when I heard, I go in the night and try to find her and do little stuff, you know, to make sure that she knows that I was there. But she was too blind to see that the drugs take over.
Yeah, the drugs definitely make the big effect of this, guys, because whenever somebody's on drugs, depending on the type of drugs you're on, you do crazy things. People have done so many activities that is not even to be spoken about when you're on drugs. Sometimes they don't have their kids anymore, they lose their home, they lose everything. So, you know, right now, in this moment, she lost everything.
Right.
And you're trying to clean up for her.
Right.
Now she's behind bars. So what's the next step for you in this moment now? What do you do as a mother?
Well, you just keep on being a mother. Because that's one thing you cannot lose. You cannot lose the space of a mother. And nobody knows her better than I do that whatever going on with her, that the drugs make her do whatever she did. I mean, I don't know how she get rolled into the drugs, but whatever. Because you have to know her like I know her. She used to be my rock. She used to be somebody that I could always count on.
You know, let me tell you, guys, oftentimes, you know, people are judged by your actions. But one thing I can say about her daughter is she has always had good actions. So, and in this world that we're living in today, sometimes you can do a million good things and do one bad thing and you're judged by it. But in this case, you stood your ground as a mother, and the family that was around her stood their ground because they realized that she had one mishap. She had a moment in her life, a season in her life that things was just off. And of course, you know, substance use was a big part of it. Was it easy for you emotionally to accept that your daughter is using drugs?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, but at the end of even that she's using drugs, I still cannot give up on her.
Right.
Because I am her mother. And the system give up on her because they never give her a second chance. If somebody is always doing right, and if one time comes that somebody do something wrong, you want to tell me she tried to jump off the building, and anybody that doing 2-3 jobs, go to school, and that person decide to want to kill themselves. That girl has so much life in her, so much life, so much thing going on for her. And if you realize that she wants to jump off the building, I don't care. Nobody know her better than me, and I'm not trying to judge, you know. Nobody give her a second chance. Somebody could have given her a second chance to say, put her in a rehab. If they help her first time she tried to jump off that building, if somebody did help her at that time, she wouldn't end up trying to stop that lady to kill her, almost kill her. Because if somebody helped her before she reached to that point.
Yeah.
Because she was at that point that somebody should have grabbed out and reached out to her. That this girl is on the drugs, help her. Then she would not reach to the other point where she stabbed that lady, almost kill her.
Yeah. So sometimes even within our system, you know, we don't have or we have not had the proper assistance.
Right.
You know, and as a mother, you can hear the frustration, guys, because we talk about this because this is a hard conversation. This is a conversation, guys, that is actually real. Something that has transpired. So think about the emotional trauma that it has on brothers and sisters and everybody like that. And think about how many people sometimes look at you and get angry because you made such a mistake. That one mistake that you may have never made in your life. So let's talk about the system for a minute. You know, because over here we have those hard conversations. And guys, one more time, if you don't have me on CHITCHATTV _on the gram, go on over right now. At CHITCHATTV, we have those hard talk, real talk conversations. And we are talking tonight about a mother that has a daughter, you know, incarcerated. Just sharing their experience and the emotion behind it and what she's doing currently as her daughter is still right now incarcerated. So we're going to move on with the interview. And I want to go a little bit deeper. The system, in a lot of ways, have failed us.
Right.
You know, we're from Jamaica. So we can talk about the system all day. And we can talk about a system that sometimes we don't get assistance. Sometimes we don't get the help that we need. So people go unchecked. Circumstances go unsolved. All right, so in this system, if she had got some better help instead of throwing her behind bars, you know, because sometimes when you go behind bars, it doesn't fix the issue, does it?
It doesn't fix it. But what I'm saying, I talk about second chances, okay? And that's, I know that whatever she do to that poor lady is somebody we know, and the poor lady is somebody's family. So I have not agree with what she did. But if somebody would have helped her before she reached to that point, because she is not a violent person. She's not a person that is violent. She's far away from violence. She helps everybody. She's not violent. That somebody have crossed her and help her. So I'm thinking, do they do that because she's black? Or do they do that for a reason? Because probably if it's some other white children, they probably would have gone out and see that she have a mental problem and help her. But what? Nobody is willing to give her a second chance.
All right, so guys, let's make something clear here. For her daughter, she had never been in a system when it pertains to violence. She had never had, like, you know, petty crimes, never been locked up, never had none of the regular, never. So we're talking about somebody with a clean record, somebody that does have a record that, you know, in school, you know, have a child that they take good care of, an autistic child, pretty well, you know, that does a phenomenal job. So when she talks about the second chances and you see this emotion, she's speaking of someone that has basically lived what is considered an upstanding lifestyle, okay? Somebody that has lived a lifestyle that is worthy of a second chance. So I think that some people deserve that second chance, and many people behind bars today were not allotted that opportunity. And because of that, when you throw people behind bars, it doesn't even fix the violence, it doesn't fix the trauma, it doesn't fix the psychological effect those drugs may have on your children. How do you feel right now, even though Sasha is incarcerated daily? Do you feel overwhelmed anymore like you used to, just living your life now without her being here?
No, my life would never be the same without her, period. But I learned to accept what it is because she's there and I can talk to her every day and she can able to talk to her son, and I have her son, as his name is Mikael, and I have him home and I take very, very good care of him. So that gives me a smile because my daughter is gone, but he have a loving son that is behind. So it gives me the motivation to keep going on. And even where she is, but she calls me every day and she know what I'm going through, she can feel my pain and she encouraged me. So that gives me something to hold on to each day. And hopefully that the Lord will help her too.
And as a mother, of course, she's going to keep in touch. She's going to do everything she got to do to just make sure she feels comfortable at where her daughter is. You know, one of the things is your daughter might be behind bars. She might be, at a place far away. But having that contact information, being able to write a letter, being able to be like, Mom, how are you doing? Is really important. And we thank God for technology. We thank God that we can show up on a screen and watch her.
On the TV.
You can go video call. She can actually go and video call her daughter and be able to physically see her. So things have improved a lot. Guys, I want you to know that it doesn't end when you were given that second chance. It doesn't end as a mother when your child has made a mistake. It doesn't end when they might still have a long ways to go. Marvet, you endured this journey for a few years now. And I want you to encourage somebody out there right now that may have been dealing with their children in the system. Because whether you were given a chance, 1 or 2 chances, 3 or 4, sometimes we have to admit that in the system, there's not enough help for some of our people. There's not enough people that care enough to reach out and do that groundwork. So, can you encourage somebody, some mother right now that is dealing with their child in the system?
Well, all I can say, a lot of times we are done fairly, and a lucky thing that God do not treat us all like other people treat us. Because people make mistakes, people make mistakes.
Absolutely.
But you still don't give up, and just keep working at it. Because that's what I do every day. Some days I come with tears in my eyes, but I keep working at it.
Yeah.
And with God's strength, you know, sometimes I don't know how I make it all these years when she was in prison. I don't know how I make it. I just don't know. But God, sorry, I have to keep God in this.
Always.
I can't do without Him.
Always.
I know that God is the one that give me all this peace. You know, sometimes I'm saying, Lord, I was so sick. And the moment I go through this, I just get all this energy that I don't know where it comes from. Because God, in the midst of this time, God give me so much peace. So I said, whoever is going through anything like this with their family, just hang in there. Because it's going to get better.
Guys,
it's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
Yes, it's hang in there. Because
it's going to get better.
I know one day I'm going to see my daughter coming out. I know she's coming out.
Guys,
and you have to believe.
It's amazing.
Believe in that.
It's amazing. When you think about it, a lot of parents, give up. And families are broken even through these processes.
Yes, yeah.
Families sometimes separate. Some families come together. But I must say within this family, there has been a coming together. You know, because when you know who somebody is and within their character, who that person is, you don't let one situation stop you from loving loving that person.
Right.
You don't let one circumstance, stop you from showing love and appreciation for people. And I'm really happy that God has kept you thus far.
Thank you.
I'm really happy that things might not be easy for you. Things might not be easy for the mothers out there even watching it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to be encouraged.
Yes.
And I want you to hold on to your children.
Yes.
Even when they're in a bad position. Don't give up on your children. Because sometimes the system does give up on our children.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yes.
system does not always give us enough resources. Or sometimes resources are hidden from people like us, if you know what I'm saying. But be encouraged.
But also I'm saying that when a child, like, she never made mistakes before, whatever going on with her. Nobody take a chance to see, because even you can't even get a lawyer to help you, because everybody wants $30,000 to even look at your case. So right away they give you what do you call it?
It's a lot.
Public defender, and you know well they're not going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
So you cannot afford to get a lawyer that's going to charge you $30,000. So your children is going to bomb in the system. You understand what I mean? Where is the help?
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm asking.
let's go in that direction right now for a little bit. Let's talk about the system. I don't know if anyone out there works in this system, and you might be aware that, at your job there's some crafty things, or cunning things that are being done against people, or people that could be getting more assistance. Assistance might be withheld. But let me tell you something. This system is not always set up for us to prosper. And I won't tell anyone to go do anything wrong and incriminate yourself. But if you're in any position of leadership within this system, we implore you guys to do the right thing. Because some of the charges people are getting are not even fair. And sometimes people are, like you said, the public defenders. What is a public defender going to do when they're working within the system?
Right.
And when we think about finances, you're not rich. You don't have 30,000, 20,000 sitting in the bank. So how can young people that have made a mistake be even given a second chance in that system?
Right.
It's set up already to make us fail.
Right.
So we implore it. We want to encourage the system. Listen, we don't know where y'all at, but we got to do better. Some of our judges, some of them, we got to do better. Some of our lawyers, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Help us out.
And they said, oh, okay, write letters so you can say the person. And I don't know if anybody ever look in those letters. Because I'm telling you, even one person or whatever would at least said, put her into a safe facility and help her. I'm not saying to let her get away with a slap on her finger because she did something wrong. So I'm not saying somebody's family is hurting. I know that. And thank God that the lady didn't die. Thank God for that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So somebody's family is hurting. And I'm not saying she should get a slap on her wrist. but can you do something to make life a little easier? Put her somewhere so she can get the help, because you lock them up. What good is that going to do for them?
Yeah, throwing people right behind bars and not helping them, you know, with a solution is very hard, because that issue is not really fixed. And guys, this is your girl, and it is Chit Chat TV, where we had those hard conversations. We're going to continue with a part 3 with our friend here, Marvet, because she got a lot of stories to tell. And guys, I thank you for tuning in today, because this story is a little difficult and there's a lot of moving parts. But we're still going to encourage all mothers out there that has children, or fathers, whoever you are. You have children in the system, incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? You a judge, you a lawyer, whoever. Do it right. Play fair. Provide, you know, open doors for people that they can get a second chance. Some people don't deserve what they have been given. And we know that there's many innocent behind bars. So guys, you guys have a blessed one. Bye. I love my CHITCHATV thing.
All right.
Bye guys.